Hello and welcome to, I believe it is week 16 now of me learning yoga and documenting my journey because I think I need to get out of the corporate world at some point in my life, and I think teaching yoga would be something that I have the capability and skills for, especially some sort of healing yoga or yin yoga, restorative yoga, trauma-informed yoga. So made it past the 4-month mark. I'm here visiting my dad, so I get to do yoga outside on the porch. It's a beautiful spring day. He's throwing his every couple of month parties. My mom died around this time last year, and he made a commitment to building community after that. And, he had spent a lot of his life isolated and working and commuting crazy hours. So now he gets to throw these parties and he gets to enjoy this wonderful backyard and house that he has and has worked his butt off to keep for his adult life. I just got lots of feelings and emotions about being here, and it's a beautiful house, and I'm like, it's major boomer privilege for sure, but he really did work hard in his life. And anyway, welcome to week 17. We're gonna do the same flow. I've way overbooked myself and extended myself in my real life with things, people having babies, visiting them, it's just life. I'm gonna redo the flow that I did last week. Seems simple enough, and I'm not in my normal spot, so just go to something that I've already done. I've only practiced it twice this week, so yeah, let me do that one for this week again. So it's 3 weeks, not 2 weeks. Thanks for being here. Cheers to 4 months.
Being consistent in this practice is so difficult, but even if I film these once a week, that still means I'm doing yoga once a week. But I do try to do it at least 2 or 3 times the flows that I do for the videos, if nothing else. But yeah, this flow, as I mentioned before, starts in child's pose. Really, really nice way to start a flow. It's not as passive as sitting in Sukhasana. And this, never realize how tight your shoulders are when you're meandering around your day until you really get settled in a child's pose. And you're like, ow, what have I been doing? Get us started with some cat-cows. I always forget that, when I'm filming, it's not my best intention to wear baggy clothes because I can't see necessarily the full form of the full shape of the pose. It's just something I have to note for future videos. But yeah, at my dad's house, I slept on a janky couch inside, and my back didn't hurt doing this. I think because usually when I visit my dad, I don't follow through on my routines, but I went to the gym one of the days and practiced yoga 2 of the days, and yeah, just my lower back was fine, even sleeping on a really, really tiny couch. But yeah, some cobras. It was really cool to do yoga outside as well. One earbud was listening to the YouTube video, and another ear was just in the ambient news. I will say, yeah, so there's some, kind of puppy poses into cobras is this flow, which is nice. And I think I do a good job of really activating my whole back as I go from pose to pose, which is nice. I should have brought an extra blanket or something because my knees were killing me even though I had the mat, it was that concrete tile that I'm on was really hot, number 1, and 2, really hard on the knees. All right, the first downward dog, never easy. Pedal it out, but it looks good from this angle. I think it's not easy for me to be in a downward dog. I think it still takes a lot more strength than what I think it's supposed to. But the form of it looks better, over the 4 months that I've been witnessing this and tracking this. So that's really cool. Yogi squat, super hard as well to straighten my back in that pose. I feel like I'm still so curved and hunched in. However, I will say my feet are flat on the ground, and that's great. That's a great start. So the first forward fold, my knees are bent, right? Because you can't just push your body and expect it to be flexible and ready if you haven't stretched it that day or whatever. So yeah, so it was the first movement I had of the day, and I did take it slow and tried not to hurt hurt myself too much or push myself too much. I feel like the downward dog looks good. It is nice to be able to have like a good camera angle as well. And so this is the 3-legged dog with a hip opener. Looks good. It's hard to do this one. It's just hard to get that leg straight up as well. This is a lizard pose, I believe. So my right foot is squaring my 2 hands. It's on the outside of my 2 hands. And I'm holding this pose for a minute. I think I always feel that one right on that. It would be on that like left hip and that left thigh. This pose is good. Although I don't think my back is supposed to curve that much necessarily. And my knee was bothering me on the concrete tile. Oh yeah, I don't think my back is supposed to curve that much in that pose. It's supposed to be more flat. That's a quad stretch. That one is always insane. Like that one always gets the front of my quad and thigh and upper leg. It's really, really good. Really easy to push too hard in it though, I think. Yeah, I kept having to lift my knee because it hurt. Note to self if I ever do this again. Alright. Oh man. I'm out of full body shot. And this was me. I couldn't see the camera, so I was like, what am I doing again? Right, so this is a side stretch. I forget, they call it like a side lunge. Yeah, I don't think your arms are supposed to be on the ground, but yeah, I can't do this one that deep because I think the goal is to have at least the supporting foot on a flat foot. I think I could lift up the ankle and on the other side, but yeah, the flat foot, just low ankle mobility into Warrior 2. Legs could be a bit wider, I think, in this. That front knee could be bent a little bit, and then we go into Trikonasana. I don't know. Side angle. I know I still have videos to film and edit about like learning the fundamentals of these poses. There's a forward fold, right up the calf, right up, yeah. I feel like if you struggle with like sciatica the same way I do, that pose is really, that hits it right in that back of that leg all the way up to your hips and your buttocks. So, up to 3-legged dog again. So I think we start the pose on the other side. Oh no, we go into pigeon pose. Yeah, I was just gently landing on these things because of the worry of the concrete. And in this pigeon pose, it's nice. The instructor suggests you kind of, before you put your arms on the ground and lay down, you actually do a slight back bend in pigeon pose, and I think that's nice. It opens up the shoulders and it opens up the lower back a little bit more, and then you bend in and kind of do this counter stretch within the stretch, which has been nice. It feels good to do it that way. And it's like, I love pigeon pose because it's like, at least in the flows that I've been doing, I notice it's one of the poses that starts to indicate that the practice is like slowing down. It's only a 20-minute flow, but it feels, at least in the sun, it feels a bit more intense. Yeah, I was really feeling it. I was like, oh, yeah, really leaning into it. Okay, back into downward dog, and I think we repeat the flow on the other side. Yeah. Do some hip switches on the other side. Okay, and then we do lizard pose again, squaring my left foot on the outside of both my hands. Carefully putting my knee on the ground and going down. Yeah, I was not enjoying that grounding. Yeah, and I do think I'm supposed to have a little bit more of a flat back in this pose. Just not quite sure if I can do that yet. All right, now you go into the quad stretch. I keep having to adjust my knee. That's okay. It's the first time doing this. I've never done yoga on this back patio porch thing before. All right. Now we're going back into side lunge. Right, and I was like, hello? Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to have your hand on the ground, but I think my ankle mobility was pretty poor. I feel like when I visit my parents' house and I sleep in it, well, it's really my dad's house now, there's just like, my body just is immersed in the history of what has happened there, and we did not grow up in a healthy way there. There's lots more to that, as I'm sure you can imagine, but yeah, just my body just tenses up in general while I'm there, even though the source of tension is not really there anymore. Also, I remember I had my warrior on the wrong side. Oopsie doopsie. Double did it on the right. Happens. That's something I wonder about being an instructor, like how do they keep track of what side they've done first, unless they like always do right first so that it makes it easier to remember when you're going to the other side of things, or always start with left, which I like because it's always harder, so you get the harder side done first. Yeah, I wonder how like teachers keep track of that. I've been to classes, where teachers be like, oh shoot, I forgot, I meant the left side, sorry y'all, I'm mirroring you or something. And I've always had trouble with like my left and my rights and my B's and my P's and my D's and my P's and my Q's and my P's and stuff. I'm wondering, I bet that part will be kind of difficult. I guess worst case scenario, you can always say like other side, whatever other side you didn't do. Okay, so we did that flow on the other side, on my left side. Did the pigeon pose on the left side. A little back bend before we go fully into pigeon pose and fully relinquish and let go. Squaring the hips while not trying to hurt my knee. Yeah, so chill. Signaling to your body like it's time to slow it down. I know I was like sweating at this point, just this direct sunlight, but it felt so good. We have a backyard-ish here where we live, but it's not a lot of nature directly in our backyard, so it's hard to, like, this is such a beautiful scene for a video and everything. I was like, yeah, because the hard part's over. The final downward dog of the practice. Again, I can't get my freaking heels to be on the ground. I feel like that might be like a medical thing I need to talk to. And then I think this is, the side neck stretch. So you hold your hands together on one side of your lower back and tilt your head in that same direction. That's a really, really nice stretch on the opposite side of the neck. You can roll around a little bit as well. I know. Shoulders and hips, man. We are a clenched society, I'll tell you that. Not really our faults, though. On the other side. Repeat it on the other side. I was like reveling in that sunlight. It was really bright, but felt good. I think I got out at like 9:30, so the the sun wasn't that too bad yet before the peak noon hours. All right, so these are my modified eagle arms. I'm still not there, I'm still not really there with the eagle arms, but I'm pretty sure in this, when I have my right arm over my left, I feel like a major pinch in my shoulders. and I have to really, really push to like kind of pop it. And I really want, this is the same hand that I have been diagnosed with carpal tunnel in, and I really wonder just like how connected from the shoulder, from the forearm, from my wrist, you know, like how that's all connected. And maybe the source of the problem is higher up, which it probably definitely is. Crazy though, I notice it a lot. And now we're closing the practice with a little shaking it out. A nice breeze, feeling the sunlight, hearing the geese and hearing the wind. It was really, really peaceful and nice. I know if, you know, when my dad passes, I don't know what's going to happen, you know, with all that, but like it is a really nice home that he has built for himself. Try to make it back out there again soon. Well, my back is relatively straight sitting in Sukhasana without so much effort, although I do notice that when I sitting cross-legged, I have to really focus on letting my hips go. Like they want to tense up as I'm cross-legged. I was really trying to listen and thank my body and thank, you know, my dad for taking care of himself at this point, thank my family for showing up the ways that they have, thank my friends. But I was really thankful of my body because, you know, you never know what's going to happen. So grateful for yet another practice in such a beautiful environment. Namaste.
Yay! That was week 17. Man, it's just nothing really beats doing yoga outside where you get all the ambiance and like the white noise and the sunlight when you're doing like cobras, and you just feel so dramatic and nourished. Yeah, we don't have that where we live. Always touch base. I think it's stressful to come home to family no matter what. There's just so much messed up history here, even though things have seemingly gotten a little lighter since my mom's passing as a family unit. But it's just the body keeps the score, man. So that's why we tend to it and take our time with it. I'm so excited that I get to keep doing this. And I had a lot of thank yous to my body and thank yous to my family and my dad's health and everything. Feeling very grateful and very vitamin D efficient. I gotta go get ready to party with all these boomers. No, it's okay. I'll see you later.